This program is offered by
Dear True Hunters friends, welcome back to my special video test on the hunting field dedicated to one of the most innovative and tech-advanced over-under ever made in the history of shotgun, the brand new Benelli 828U. As a matter of fact, the 828U has what I consider to be the most innovative, even if revolutionary, breaching system for over-under shotguns to come down the pike. Nothing else that have been seen in town is anything like it. And to tell you the plain truth, this is one of the several times Benelli shocked us with a revolutionary product. Benelli army of Urbino, Italy, emerged in 1967 with an idea for a new type of shotgun action. The company promoted the design as inertia drive, a form of delayed blowback operation, but in a twist of literally serendipity, the ID label came to be synonymous with its corporate identity. In fact, Benelli became so well known for its semi-automatic shotguns that it found itself a bit typecast, culminating in the 1993 introduction of the Super Black Eagle, one of the first semi-automatics capable of firing 234, 3 and 3.5 shells. The inertia drive system proved reliable to a fault throughout 2.5 decades of service in a series of models. Along the way, it earned the respect of a new generation of hardcore duck and goose hunters, beset by the same kind of weather and environmental condition that had caused their fathers to rely upon pump guns. Recently, in a move unexpected by nearly everyone, Benelli created an all-new lightweight over-under, the 828U, and with it an opportunity to capitalize on its reputation among brand loyalists, waterfowlers, and shotgunners in general. The Benelli 828U represents a true breakthrough in over-under shotgun design, and Benelli hopes it will also help the company break through with a whole new group of upland and recreational sport shooters. Around 2012, Benelli engineers, spurred by the belief that they could contribute something new to traditional shotgunning, quietly began work on an over-under that would be engineered like none before it. In 2014, early production samples were unveiled. Described dispassionately, the 828U is simply a wood-stocked over-under shotgun built around an aluminum receiver. It features a single selective inertia trigger system with a tongue-mounted barrel selector safety button, a plain top lever lies just ahead of the safety along the left side. Current offerings are in 12 gauge with 3 inches chambers and 26 or 28 inches barrel. 2 versions are available, one with a black anodized receiver and one with a silver tone receiver, said to be the result of a nickel-based treatment. The latter has laser-cut panels of fish scales checkering at its lower rear corners, along with the floral scroll engraving designs in panels on the top, sides and bottom. Both receivers are sculpted to evoke the wings of a mallard in flight. The stocks exhibit figures and also have fish scale checkering in panels on the forend and pistol grip. The cryogenically treated barrels, which are highly polished and blued, do not have side ribs. A replaceable solid carbon fiber vented sighting rib is topped with a red fiber optic pipe set about 1 inch back from the muzzle. While the aforementioned is readily apparent by examining the gun's exterior, it is inside that the Benelli departs form, or more properly, defies convention. Until now, over-unders have been the province of traditional gun making, in which the various mechanical functions were interrelated by mechanisms that had to be finished by hand to ensure reliability. In addition, such guns were usually made with steel receivers that bore the stresses of firing, meaning that their bolting and the hinge mechanism had to be made to account for wear that occurs after repeated use. The Benelli 828U differs in a couple of important respects. The modularity of the design means that the function of the various sub-assemblies is almost independent. Wherever it is needed is strong material. Wherever it is not needed is light material. For instance, the aluminum receiver is unstressed and departs even from other aluminum receiver shotguns in the sense that its hinge and locking components do not directly bear the brunt of firing stresses. Rather, pressures are contained by way of a massive steel breech block. It is held just forward of the receiver's face by 2 small springs when the action is open, and as the gun closes, a lug in the monoblock under the lower barrel engages a recess of the block's bottom, and a groove on the monoblock's upper end engages a lip at the block's top, locking the two together and pressing the block rearward against the receiver's face. The design provides steel-on-steel lockup that fully contains the forces of firing. The breech block also contains the spring-loaded firing pins, making them easily replaceable should the need arise. A point of potential mechanical wear, the hinge pins, while relatively small in diameter, are made of steel and serve only to pivot the monoblock on the receiver. The construction of the barrel assembly is fairly unconventional Each barrel is soldered to protrusions machined over the one-piece heat-treated monoblock. The chambers are then machined directly into the monoblock to ensure precise chamber alignment and finish. The nearly seamless union is not adorned on its exterior as in many traditional guns. The forehand iron attached in such a way that the forehand itself is nothing more than a cosmetic cover. It is released by pressing a button at its front, further isolating the forehand and barrels from the receiver are what Benelli refers to as impulse-activated ejectors. A transverse passage in each chamber contains a floating pin that is bumped a few thousandths of an inch to actuate sears on the ejector body on either side of the monoblock, causing the extractors to forcefully throw empty cases free of the gun. Of course, if a barrel does not fire, the plate remains in its extractor-only position and separate rods gently press back the extractors, allowing manual removal of that unfired shells. At this point, it's worth noting that the Benelli 828U was designed for easy access to its breech. Both inserting and withdrawing shells and spent cases, even with a gloved hand, is noticeably less difficult than with many other over-unders and a real boon in the field when reloading. Reinforcing the theme of mechanical modularity is a self-contained trigger module that can be removed from the receiver with an included small tool. It consists of a cast steel fire control housing pinned to an aluminum trigger guard. A lip at the guard's front engages a groove in front of the receiver well, and a spring-loaded plunger at the housing's rear locks the unit in place. Perhaps more than any other type of firearm platform, a shotgun is designed to function as an extension of the shooter's body, as let's say a third arm. Fit and comfort in the hands and to the body of the user are of critical importance to ensuring success on small, fast-moving targets. Citing the gun's operation as part of the global comfort theme, the 828U's unique breeching system eliminates the need for a close tolerance fit at the locking catch, making the gun easy to open. Pressing it fully through its arc first withdraws two barrels locking pins from their recesses in the monoblock, then rotates a lever fitted with a roller within the receiver that presses back a cocking plate in the trigger module to load the striker springs. And an added benefit of the lever's graceful design is that the shooting hand thumb can rest naturally alongside it atop the receiver. As to the stock, the grip shape and wrist have been developed through studies of different hands and gloves to ensure a better fit and better approach to the trigger. A replaceable polymer check piece allows for changes in comb height and a progressive comfort recoil mitigating system inside the buttstock, a series of interlocking polymer tins that flex to soften the gun's movement into the shooter's shoulder, is capped with a soft rubber recoil pad, radiuses at the hill to encourage snag-free mounting of the gun. In combination with the 5 drop shims and 4 cast shims, each of which fits between the receiver and the buttstock, a few minutes of linkering can result in 40 different combinations of stock adjustment. Again, unlike shotguns of old, which required fitting by an expert and labor-intensive permanent change to the stock, the Benelli system is relatively simple to customize by the end user simply by referring to a fitting table in the owner's manual. The solid carbon fiber rib is another potentially customizable component, requiring only the loosening of a single screw for removal. My first impression of the gun was one of seamless, as it came from the high-ready position to my face. The ammunition too obviously plays an important part, and mine were somewhat appropriately 2 Italian-made Baschieri&Pellagri MB Super Gigante 36 grams nickel-plated lead shot, and the MB Winter 38 grams number 6 black hardened lead shot cartridges at 1315 and 1345 FPS respectively. These are not particularly milled load for a 12 gauge weighing only 6 pounds and 9 ounces, but for a real test I needed to verify the reaction of the 828U at those shots I would find in the hunting field. The MB Super Gigante cartridge is propelled by the excellent MB 32 powder and has a 20 millimeter head brass. It is loaded with nickel pellets for a high penetration. Thanks to a special felt wad, this ammo provides optimal shot patterns also at medium distances of shooting. It is available with the pellets ranging from number 3 to number 8, so it is a real all-around cartridge for games from woodcock to hare. The MB Winter cartridge is propelled by the well-balanced MB 36 powder and has a 20 millimeter head brass too. It is loaded with black hardened pellets for a high release of energy. Thanks to its special plastic wad, this ammo is perfectly suited for the use under the most severe winter hunting condition. It is available with pellets ranging from number 3 to number 7, so it is a true effective cartridge for games from pheasant to larger ducks and hare. During the Benelli's 828U shotgun field test, I have used both cartridges for wood pigeon, feral pigeon and pheasant, alternating them upon weather and shooting range condition. With my great pleasure and satisfaction, I must say, because these are really great ammunition with a light tag price stamped on them. For what it concerns the field test of the Benelli 828U in the Italian wetlands for ducks, I decided to use the brand new Baschieri&Pellagri DualShock cartridges. This is a high technology line of lead-free cartridges that offer some special innovation to the concept that do not only concern its mere ecological aspect, but chiefly its practical advantage in terms of superior exterior and terminal ballistic performances. For its new DualShock cartridge line, Baschieri&Pellagri has decided to follow the way of the copper as a basic material for the construction of its pellets. Plus, the Italian manufacturer has added to these cartridges some specific features and technical solutions, such as such as a different density and size of the pellets, a different disposal of the pellets into layers inside the cartridge, a new specific wad for a total protection of the pellets, and above all, a faster velocity at the muzzle. Introduced into the market since a few months now, the Dual Shock line actually includes 3 different loads, all for the 12 gauge. 2 of them have a 2 3/4 shell case with a different weight of pellets, 1 1/8 ounces and 1 1/5 ounces respectively, while one has a Magnum 3 inches shell case with 1 1/4 ounces of pellets. Obviously, all 3 loads can be shot exclusively on barrel and chokes, especially made for steel shot loads with no limits on choke size. Okay guys, now let's stop talking and let's go to the hunting fields.
Dear true hunters friends, finally I am in the hunting field with my Benelli A28U. For the first part of this long test, I have decided to bring my Benelli in one of the most particular hunting technique used here in Tuscany for wood pigeon. We are at the end of the season and the great migration has ended up, but there are still a lot of wood pigeon and feral pigeon around, and these kind of animals are used to visit these thick bushes which are rich of this kind of ivy berries. This kind of hunting is really emotional because the shooting is particularly difficult because you have a lot of woods here and trees, and so you have to shoot really fast, and you have to have a great shotgun that comes very quickly at your shoulder and that has a good ballistics. So for this reason I decided to use also 2 special ammunition that I have presented on studios. So the Baschieri&Pellagri MB, the Gigante, the Super Gigante and the Winter. I will use both the cartridges and alternate them depending upon the situation. Okay, and so now I will start up this kind of hunting, and then we will proceed the test with other emotional techniques. as you have seen in our footages, I am very satisfied about the performance of the Benelli A28U on one of the most difficult shooting on the field, at least here in Tuscany, the wood pigeon in the thick woods. And it was a difficult test that I decided to do for this shotgun, because I know that the future owner will use this shotgun in many different hunting situations. So now I'm going to hunt in a more classic technique, the partridges and pheasant. I will hunt with a friend of mine who is an expert in this kind of shooting, and I will give the Benelli A28U to him, and then after we will go to a wetland. Okay, let's go for partridge hunting now. I decided to test it also into a particular technique, hunting technique, which is not really the ideal one for this kind of shotguns, says with the two barrels, the duck hunting. Okay, in this video test, I want to test three particular technical features of this A28U Benelli. First of all, the progressive comfort system, because I will go to I will shoot a lot of ammunitions, especially Magnum, lead-free Magnum ammunitions, and so I will be able to use the exact level of stop recoil of this kind of progressive comfort system. Okay, this is the first thing I want to verify. The second technical features I would like to verify is the ballistic performance of the barrels of the A28U Benelli. I decided to use the 65 centimeter
barrel. Benelli is actually selling the shotgun with two types of barrels, the 65 centimeter and the 70 centimeters. I decided to use the 65 because it's the standard barrel length for almost all the hunters who will decide to buy this kind of shotgun. So I want to test these particular barrels are named, as I mentioned in studio, power bore barrels, cryogenics. And so I want to test them with a lead-free cartridge. Then also the rib. This is a carbonium rib, and it's a kind of very new and brand new type of rib, and I'm really astonished how Benelli has made it. So I want to test the effectiveness and in the field, you know that the rib is very important. So I want to verify in this kind of shooting for ducks which are the effectiveness advantage presented by this kind of rib. High technology firearms needs obviously and high technology ammunition. So I decided to use this brand new Baschieri&Pellagri dual shock waterfall cartridges. This is a brand new line of lead-free cartridges. I will test all three versions of this line, the 32, the 34 and the 36 Magnum cartridges, because I want to see and verify their ballistics, and also to verify the impact of this kind of ammunition with the progressive comfort of this Benelli 828U. I have decided to test this particular shotgun with two friends of mine who are very expert in duck hunting here in these places, who are Gabriele Bonfiglioli and Mauro Burali. Okay, let's go together with them on duck hunting here. While some will pan the 828U because it doesn't fit their notion of what an over-under should be, others, particularly fans of Benelli's unique style of engineering, along with those up to being open-minded about unexpected new offerings, may find the 828U difficult to resist. It is no stretch to suggest that the new gun offers appealing aesthetics, innovative engineering, precise manufacturing, intuitive handling, and satisfying shootability. The Benelli 828U's price, too, is absolutely not out of line considering the exceptional quality of the gun's construction and the adaptability that it allows shooters of differing physics. And if Benelli's track record is any indication, there are likely to be extension to the new over-under line. Let's say a scale 20 gauge would be a neat trick indeed in the years ahead. That the 828U breaks with the tradition of previous over-under shotguns and with all other guns that have come from its family before, it is before question. It is without question. That the 828U breaks with the tradition of previous over-under shotguns and with all other guns that have come from its family before, it is without question. And that it does so confidently and beautifully is difficult to deny. But it's also true that the 828U upholds at least one tradition, that of being a uniquely innovative and distinctive firearm bearing the now famous mark of a motorcycle turned gunmaker named Benelli. And to remain in the genius country, let me say something about Baschieri&Pellagri cartridges. Their performance on the various and different hunting fields always reached the excellence in terms of exterior and terminal ballistic, so it was a particularly effective combination with the Benelli 828U over-under. Thanks a lot, True Hunters friends, for your precious attention. See you all at the next hunting field test, naturally on truehunters.tv.
This program was offered by